What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. This week it's pre-orders, projects, and bourbon. Yes, projects. Things that make life just worth living, don't they? What's going on, everybody? So the projects are in a kind of state of pause right now. So for those of you who don't know, I travel for work. So one week turned into 2 weeks, and then the rest, as they say, is history. So got back, and it was kind of like Christmas, which was kind of cool. So all these boxes opening up. All the stuff coming in, and then I had a little bit of a mishap with some of the decals, some of the artwork for the Gallagher cabinet. So I think I showed you this last week or 2 weeks ago. I did get the marquee in, so that's going to go in shortly. Most of the artwork is here. Most of it is correct, but yeah. In any event, so that's kind of where that is. And then I've got some other projects kind of in my head that we're going to talk about later on in the show. What's going on with everybody? And so we're gonna kick this thing off with sort of I guess we're gonna talk about a little movie I just saw called Godzilla versus King Kong, and that was pretty cool. It was a good movie. I think that it was it is what it is. It's monsters fighting monsters. This guy beating up this guy. I mean, it was just good all American fun, even though it's about a monster from Japan. I don't know. To each his own, I guess. But yeah, but no, it was a good movie. And I think the big event, obviously, this weekend was Easter. We had, I hope everyone was able to enjoy themselves. I hope you got a chance. I know with all this COVID going on, it's nice to be able to get together with family and friends. Hopefully, I know there's restrictions depending on where you are in the States, depending where you are in the country. So I hope that you were able to sort of take advantage of that, get together and spend some time and just trying to enjoy yourselves in the best way that you can. But yeah, so I saw the movie. It was pretty good. It is what it is. It's two, like I said before, two monsters fighting each other, and it was for the most part was pretty cool. Moving on to so we talked about a little bit about the projects going on right now, and I want to talk about, I guess, the big issue, the big problem out there is, as it continues to unravel, is the pre-order situation with Arcade 1UP. Want to go ahead and let's let me share the screen, and we're going to talk about it just a little bit. Let me kill that. So I think that with the pre-orders going on, it kind of puts everything on pause while we wait to hear more about when we can get those, when we can expect to get those. And a lot of people are sort of talking about how there's design flaws and issues. So that got me thinking, well, what about shifting gears to the new cabinets coming out? And I talked about last week, I think it was, or actually I did a video about the X-Men versus the Killer Instinct cabinet. And I ultimately went with the Killer Instinct cabinet. But one of the things, or one of the knocks, I guess, against these cabinets is, while it's great to have the 4 players, eventually you got to make a concession. And I think I've said this before several times. These cabinets, for the most part, they are compromises. I mean, obviously, you're not going to have a 1-for-1 representation. Anyway, you're not going to do it at this price point for sure. So as we begin to compromise, the idea of 4 players and 4 controllers is pretty awesome. There's definitely a draw there, but I think you start to realize that if I want to have an arcade in my house, it takes up a lot of room. So you really have to sort of justify the space, the real estate that these things take up. With my Ninja Turtles cabinet, it's got 2 games on it. That's fine, but at the end of the day, you start to think, as more cabinets are coming out, especially with legacy cabinets coming out, replacing some of these first and second generation, what am I going to do to how am I going to consolidate all this and actually just make up room? And I think you sort of come to a crossroads. You're like, okay, well, do I go ahead and just get rid of the cabinet? Do I just say, well, it's 4 players, it's too wide, it's too big, and let's just get rid of it? That was one of the things that I was sort of talking about when it came to the X-Men cabinet. Game selection is key. And especially when you're talking about a 4-player cabinet, it adds a certain level of, if this thing was the same width as all your other cabinets in space, that makes space not that much of an issue. So if you got a crappy games list, it's not going to be as crucial, as detrimental, I think, to your overall arcade in your house. When you have this 4-player setup, when you know the real estate that this thing is going to take up, if every game is not top notch, why would you go for it? So what do you do? So you just say, well, you're stuck with I'm stuck with this 4-player configuration. It is what it is, and I got to decide if I want to live with this or not. I don't think that's really the case. What I think that Arcade 1-Up could do is they could really take this in a way that I hate to say this, but the way At Games does it, and they have a sort of a modular system. I think that this cabinet in particular, the X-Men cabinet, and there's an issue with the Ninja Turtles cabinet that we'll get into in a second. But in this configuration with the X-Men cabinet, I'm going to assume this is a 4-player ROM, but let's say this was the 6-player ROM that we all want. It ships with a 4-player configuration. What if they sold a 2-player control board? What if they sold a control panel? What if they sold a 6-player control panel, and you were able to purchase those based on your situation? Maybe this is the only cab you ever want, and you just say, hey, 4 players, great, that's fine, no problem. But what if this is part of a larger arcade in your house, and maybe you want to initially get that 4-player set up, but then over time you're thinking, well, it would just be nice if I could just save a little room, but I don't want to get rid of this cabinet. How do I keep it? What do I do? Have that 2nd-player option. My next project, and I'm gonna sneak this on you, is I actually want to, as an experiment, I want to have a 2nd control panel for my TMNT cabinet that I can just swap in and out. Now you think that's not okay? Well, that's really no big deal. The issue you're going to have with your Ninja Turtles cabinet is, and I talked about this in my other video when I was sort of knocking the X-Men cabinet, or I was debating this versus KI, is that with the Ninja Turtles cabinet, each player position is dedicated to a Ninja Turtle character. So if you want to play Leo, you got to be over here on player 1, in the player 1 slot. With the X-Men, they're selectable, so it's not that big of an issue. So I think it's even less of an issue with the X-Men cabinets, or with any game that is selectable, the characters being selectable. So with this, you're going to be kind of locked into 2 turtles, and so that's going to be one of the challenges I think that we're going to have to consider. I'm going to have to consider whenever I do that. But what I want to do is show you step by step. I have an encoder board coming. I'm going to make a completely separate control panel, 2-player, that I can just swap in and out. It really is going to be truly a plug and play deal, and I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a cool experiment. But let me know in the chat. What are you thinking? Is this something that you would be interested in? Is this something that you think is worth pursuing? I think it is. You know how I am with these control panels. I love swapping them in and out, especially if you are someone who has limited space like I do. It's just fun to be able to just sort of create whatever you want. And if Arcade 1-Up would have options like this, I think it would definitely extend the life of some of their products for sure. But I have neglected the chat. I've been rambling on for a while. I apologize. Let me jump back in here. Brad O'Connell, hello, chat. Chat, say hello to Brad O'Connell. I was able to order another Galaga counter cape for $50. Really? 11 a.m. today? Nice. It seems they are randomly coming back in. I got to keep my eyes peeled for that one because I've got this. I've got a second one. Of course, I've got this one I'm tearing apart. The second one's going to be dedicated to a horizontal screen. Might get a third one. Why not? Why not? Robo Grunt says, hey, Brad. Hello, everybody. Zero Hero. What is going on, man? Here's an idea. What happens when they come out with the Konami 4-player Legacy cabinet? That's when people begin to lose their minds. That's when people begin to lose their minds. Hi, all, and my brother. All right, I'm writing your name down, Fatal, with my fake pen. The first ever super chat ever. Did not know you were monetized. Congrats, bro. Thank you so much, Fatal. Man, I do appreciate it. You have no idea. And I was gonna play you something, but I actually got dinged last time. So let me just give you, or let me just have Robert Downey Jr. give you a great piece of advice.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Just take that to the bank. That's something you can always you can cherish that that advice forever. It's good advice. Thanks so much, man. I do appreciate it. Zero, hello, Brad O'Connor, saying hi to Zero, Mike H, and Robo. Brad, hell, chat. Demajani. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys. I know y'all are getting ready for Keepers of the Force. I'll be tuning in. Trust me. And everybody here should also be tuning in to Keepers as well. Tonight, by the way, we are drinking some Four Roses. Like I said, it was a long 2 weeks back home. Enjoyed some time with the family myself for Easter. It was a great time. Sadly, we've got to go back to work. The 4-player arcade one-up cabs are hideous. A little bit. It's tough to argue that. No, I think that they look good. Is appearance-wise, they're not bad. It just gets cramped really, really, really quickly. If you have 4 kids, that's what's great. If you got like kids that come over, if you have a lot of kids yourself, it's great for kids. But yeah, when 4 grown-ass men try to get around this thing and play, it's tight. There's no way around it. What's up, brother? It's going to be tight. Soggy Kid. What's up, guys? What's up, Soggy Kid? How you doing? More options are always good. I think that it is. I think that if you're stuck with, well, I don't want to say stuck, but let's say they can pump out 4 of these cabinets every couple years, and then you've got that dead space, where you're waiting for that next cab to come out. You're waiting for them to actually lock in some more deals with licensing and whatever. What do they do within that dead time? How do they sort of rejuvenate the cabinets that they know are already out in the marketplace? Accessories are good. So you got the lit marquees. Maybe they don't come out with a lit marquee, but you offer a lit marquee. Another thing would be optional control panels, different control panels for the same game, just a slightly different setup. I think it's a way you can, like I said, it's, once you get it and you've got your $400 commitment, it's not like a PS5 where you're constantly buying games, or maybe different accessories or different controllers or whatever. You don't have that same, I don't know, retention. I don't know if that's the right word, but you get it, you got it. And it's like, you reach a point where if you get bored with it, you get rid of it. And you're not necessarily going to buy another arcade one-up. So, and there's also that secondary market where the guy that bought your old one is not going to go buy a new one. Arcade one-up needs to think about all this stuff. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. Celebrating Kong versus Godzilla. It's a good movie. It was a good movie. It ain't going to win no Oscars, but it was good. I have 2 of the Galagas now, but no idea what I'm going to do with them. I bought one LCD kit for the Gen 2 monitors, but I noticed you didn't use stock monitor. Is it crap? I didn't use it. I didn't use it because I didn't have a good way to tie in. I was really looking for an HDMI breakout for that stock monitor, and I couldn't find one. And then, of course, after I did my mod, it turns out that Geek Sales is actually going to have one. They had one. It wasn't in stock. Supposedly they did have one for the Gen 2 countercades, but it wasn't available whenever I was, having to make a decision. And so I thought, well, the hell with it. I'll get one of these. And for the price, you really can't beat it. It's pretty cheap. But there is some dismantling that you got to do, which is fine. I think with the second, I think on the last live stream, with my second Galaga cab, when I go with the horizontal rotation, I'm not going to disassemble the monitor. I'm going to modify the mounting board enough to where I can just recess the entire screen as is, because I want to retain those buttons on the front, the function buttons. And the screen that I bought, the buttons are all black, so it should sort of be seamless. It's not going to stand out. If you've got something where the buttons are white or they have those big white icons on them, I think that would be a little. It will be a little rough. It's gonna break. You're gonna lose yourself. You're not gonna lose yourself, but it's like having an iPad with a white border. I don't know if anybody has the same issue, but I want an iPad with a black border so that I sort of my eyes they're not taken away from what I'm viewing on the screen, and it makes the whole iPad look like one piece of glass, one monitor. So if you've got a monitor with a bunch of crazy stuff going on in the bezel itself, it's just going to sort of draw your eye away, I think, and you'll begin to lose some focus, maybe, or just I don't know. Maybe I'm fussing over nothing. Maybe it's not as crucial as I think it is. But for me personally, I like to keep that as blacked out as possible. So yeah, that was just the route that I took, Mike. You can take a different route, but that breakout board, when it becomes available, is going to be tough to find. And I did notice that the monitor that I used was a little bit better quality. Not the greatest in the world, but initially the stock monitor setup that I thought that was sort of the plexi on the front. Turns out it was actually the monitor. The discoloration, when I would sort of move my head left to right, it wasn't just washout, it was discoloration. So the one that I went with is actually, it's better, much better. LOL, LOL to you. Look at this, number 2. God, I gotta write this down. I can't believe it. 2 super chats, of course, for my 2 good friends. Demaj Knight, congrats on the monetization. Let's go plus ultra. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I wasn't really prepared. Demaj and I jumped in Easter, got the family over. I need to get a bunch of my little things going, my little tags going. But of course, for you, I'm gonna go ahead and give you some the same advice that I had to give Fatal.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
I got that Boba Fett clip that I played last live stream, and I got nailed with a copyright strike. So I had to go back and I had to actually edit that out. So that's why I'm not playing that clip. I promise. Next time I will be much more prepared. Much more prepared indeed. But thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. It's good to finally get here. Took some time, but I made it. Do you have a ALU? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Hey, gang. Kev Grit. Hey to you. How you doing? Starting a Legends pinball box, but not the one I want. Hopefully tomorrow. Oh, you're staring at a Legends pinball box. Let us know how that works out, brother. Hopefully you get the one that you actually wanted. Hey, Brad. Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Big Vinyl, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Hanging in there? Arcade 1-Up should do more game room accessories like Pizza Hut lamps, cup holders we can attach to the cabs. I love the idea of the cup holder. I've seen some guys actually widen the control panel deck and then actually, cut big holes in them and actually put cup holders inside. Makes a lot of sense. I like your idea about the Pizza Hut lamp, though. Maybe if they could lock up that licensing, that'd be great. But I always thought about, what about like a 3/4 scale Coke machine? What about a 3/4 scale vending machine? I mean, if you're building out your arcade, that's some of the other stuff that was synonymous with arcades back in the day. Neon signs and all that stuff's great, but you got to have your snacks. What would that look like? I don't know. It's sort of like a mini fridge. I mean, you wouldn't think that it would be too heavy if you could sort of cut that down and make most of it out of plastic. You can buy a mini fridge for $100, $200, some of them $300, depending on where you're shopping. So if you could keep that price point there, where you actually have the mechanisms where it dispenses the Coke, that'd be kind of cool. But that's just sort of my idea, my way of thinking. What do you think? Is that a dumb idea? Don't worry, you ain't hurting my feelings if you think so. Zero Hero. I really think what they're going to do is they're going to release the Infinity Cabinet. Yeah, we had talked about that. I theorized about the Infinity Cabinet, similar to the Infinity Table, right? This cabinet will basically be the Infinity Table, yeah, in a cabinet form, and you'll be able to purchase arcade games. I agree. I think that's a way you could go, but I think that would be a super premium product. And with Arcade 1-Up, it's almost like if you build that, then what else do you build? I mean, what other physical things could you? I mean, I like it. I like the idea, and it could be a premium product. But I think that even that would have, I hate to say it, but some built-in limitations, just so they could sell more stuff. I mean, unless I think at the end of the day, and I think I made this suggestion, and now I'm going to backtrack on that a little bit, to have a device where I can buy games directly. Arcade ROMs. I think you're going to start getting to this sort of mindset, or you're going to have this issue. At least I am. Guys roughly our age, in our 30s, 40s, we've been around. We're retro fans. We have purchased retro games online before. Are we really going to cough up that cash to buy individual ROMs, individual games, or game packs again just to play in an arcade form? I don't know. I don't know. I'd be curious to see how this Infinity Table works out. Of course, that's really geared towards the board game setup. And then again, I think that a lot of us, I know I have bought the Hasbro game night. I think they had 3 or 4 games. I got that for PS3, PS4. played that, on the TV in the living room. Are we really going to want to do that? I think it's a funny thing we're trying to do here with these arcade machines, with these replicas of arcade machines. We're not trying to just get our hands on the ROMs. I think a lot of us have the ROMs in one way, shape, or form. There's some games out there that I just don't have. You don't have, we want an easy way to get those. But I think we're going for this form factor. We're going for this aesthetic. And I think a lot of us want to have those games and have the artwork and have the cabinet itself. So I don't know. I would be zero here. I agree with you. I think this is something they could do. I don't know if it would make the best business sense now that I've sort of given it more thought, if they're going to do it. Let's wait and see. I think it would be interesting to see how they do the licensing and the games and all that. Sorry, I just tuned in. I was actually posting my Galaga Gen 1 mod just now. Why are you sorry, man? You're here, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'll be checking out your video later. Devil Waldo? I'm glad you were found. I guess. I don't know if you're a devil. Maybe you shouldn't be found. Where's Waldo? Where's Devil Waldo? He's right here. He's in my chat. Okay, cool. Geek Sales is where I got my kit for the first Galaga. I see how that mode goes before I buy a second one. Yeah, it's if it's available. If it's available, you keep your stock monitor. You get it's a breakout board, basically is what it is. Ties into that monitor, and away you go. But I think if you look at the cost, I think if you look at if you've got a router, which I did have to use a router to route those grooves and to get that screen to fully recess the way that I wanted. It wasn't really a drop-in replacement. So I think if you want to limit yourself, or if you want to limit the amount of modifications you have to do in that regard, the breakout board is the way to go. The breakout board is definitely the way to go. Did anyone see 2Day4 insane arcade and console build at Games on Facebook? Huge, big 500 gigabyte build is crazy. Coming soon. I saw some of the goodies I shared. No, I didn't see it, brother. I did not see it. I will have to check that out. That looks interesting. 500 gigabyte build is crazy. Really? 500 gigabyte. You're talking about like every arcade game ever? That would be awesome. Could be awesome. I think it's like with the Pandora boxes. I've had several of those. It's kind of like it's almost a chore just to find the game you want and have to scroll through it constantly. I think you can go with like Hyperskin or some kind of an overlay that's gonna, I guess a menu system that would allow you to access those games easier, quicker, faster, and make it a little more seamless. Raspberry Pis where you break it out by system, that could definitely help. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of like, we were always, for the longest time, we were chasing more memory. How much memory can I have? And now we're at the point now we have sort of that I think that pursuit is probably ended, I think, for the most part. I mean, yeah, you can continue to push for more and more, but with cloud-based, computing, there's no need to really have, I don't know, a terabyte on your PlayStation 3, or 4 or even 5. I think it's a different type of world we're living in now. But I am a big fan of local storage and having your ROM there and not having to download it or stream it, because at the end of the day, I mean, I want to have it. And that's a whole other conversation. That's all this stuff. At Games Legends Ultimate Arcade. Oh, okay. Nice. Brad, I think I really need to get one. I think I need to look at the competitor and to the arcade one-ups and give that a real look. Something beyond just, websites and other people reviews. I think I need to really take a good look at that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. ALU is at Games Legends Ultimate. Gotcha. 3/4 scale pole dancer, depending on what venues you are in. All right, Mike. You coming in here and you're saying stuff like, let's run this scenario. What strip club were you in that also had an arcade machine? And I'm just saying, if the action on the stage is that bad to where you're like, I think I'll take these ones and get quarters and just go play Galaga. What is wrong? I think there's something, maybe just, I don't know. I mean, with the cover charge to get in, maybe you should just go to the mall. I don't know. That's what, but I see where your head's at. I'm just kind of curious. I'm just thinking about that. You ever been to a strip club that had a damn arcade machine? I like that driving arcade. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the 2-player, man, I love this thing. This has been a whole lot of fun. A single player sit down cab is obviously the way that most people go, and I think I would enjoy that a lot. But I think that this is kind of inspired by the old the off-road cabs. I don't know if anyone remembers the off-road cabs where they were 3 small steering wheels next to each other on a stand-up cab, and it was the off-road game. I forget the name of the driver. Iron Man, I can't remember. Anyway, it was the off-road game, and everybody had trucks and they were next to each other. And it was like, well, if that form factor could work back in the day, could I pull this off now? But this has been really just a ton of fun. And with the PS2, the steering wheels were just really cheap, no force feedback. Hey, my buddy, what's going on? Original console gamer. Hey, Fox, do you use the same VSS display for a PS2 mod as you do for a Pi mod? I tried connecting a PS3 to one of my Pi modded cabinets, and it fried the monitor. Oh, no. So yeah, the VS display that I use for, well, I think it's the same one. It's the same breakout board that everybody uses. But I don't know how you hooked up I tried connecting a PS3 to my Pi modded cabinets. And how did you connect it? Did you connect to the Pi with your PS3? Because I just break out. I just have the breakout board for the monitor itself, and then I just go PS2 or PS3 directly into the HDMI input of that breakout board. I'm not going through a Pi, so maybe that sucks, brother. Man, that sucks. I'm assuming it fried your stock monitor, because I've done it on a stock monitor, and then I did it. I'm running the 19-inch from Arcade Mod Up. Same way, same breakout board. That same breakout board that everybody uses, and I can post a link later, and just run HDMI directly into that, and I don't have an issue. That sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. Let me know if you need another 17-inch monitor, because I've got my Street Fighter 2 that I could maybe. I'll drive to Virginia and drop it off. How about that? I try to make my mods on cabs that I know RK1UP will probably never make as a cab, like Nintendo. Oh, you mean like Nintendo? Like my last console, my last control panel mod. That was a lot of fun, because it really was plug and play. After you made your little adapter that you could set your controllers in, you just plugged in your NES Classic, and there you go. But 8-bit, that's a lot of the fun. That's the fun of what we do. It's the modding. It's making the things that, man, they'll never make this, so you do it. Whether it's a specific game, or whether it is something like something where the licensing is never going to happen, like Nintendo, or like a Sega specific, or even I don't know, Sony PlayStation, if you wanted to go that route. But that's why I love these. I'm sure that's why a lot of people love these. Now, there are a lot of people out there that want to buy them and just have them in their collection and just leave them stock. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And I think that your approach to modding makes a lot of sense too. Don't necessarily just mod to mod with a specific goal in mind. And it doesn't matter if it's a $400 or $500 3/4 scale arcade 1-up, or if it's a $50 countertop. Have a sort of a goal in mind. Where do you really want to go with it? If you just want to swap out a single component and run everything else, fine. Do you want to do a complete, blow up? I mean, this thing's going to be a totally different cab, and I'm done with it. It's going to have the same framework, but that's about it. All new art, new controls, everything. And I'm actually bouncing back and forth. I know I said I was going to do a PS1 with this. I am going to do a PS1, but what I think I'm going to do, looking at the space, looking at the power, the breakout. I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of behind the scenes here. So when I was deciding to go with my PS1 idea in the back of this countercade, and I'm still going to explore this, and if I can make this work the way I want to, we'll stick with it. If not, I got another idea. Still PS1 based. So I was going to use this little transformer. And what I wanted to do is I want to actually use the stock PS1 AC adapter, bring this into the primary side of the transformer, and then come out, and it's 5 volt after that, and power everything else off the other side, the secondary side of the transformer. And then just, go primary right to the PlayStation. So this is super slim. This is what is the amp rating? I can't remember the amp rating. Yeah, this is a 5 amp, which should be more than enough for everything I need, because I'm gonna have to power the screen, obviously. I'm gonna have to power the console itself, and then I think that's it. You got the and then you're going to have some ancillary stuff. I'm going to have the LEDs for the marquee itself. So using something like this, which is really, I mean, this is super slim. If I can rock this and do my console the way I want, I got to double check and make sure my amp draw isn't too crazy, which it really shouldn't be. I've got 5 amps on the secondary side. The primary side, I'm just going to tap right into it. It's going to be, point for point, right back to it. So that should be okay. Just got to make sure that everything else is going to be good to go. But so I want to see if I can make that work. And if I can't make that work, what I want to do is go ahead and take my disc, my PS1 disc, and then make that rip that ISO, the ISO file for the game, and then maybe put that on a PS1 Classic or a PlayStation Classic, the small little handheld. And I've actually got that, or not handheld. I'm sorry, the little. Forgive me, just 1 second, guys. I'm bending over. Here it is. Yep, one of the little PlayStation 1 mini systems with the USB. Of course, it's going to make controllers much easier with the USB in the front, because every encoder setup that you buy on Amazon is going to have that. So, iArcade built a very solid premium arcade. Now you even get tempered glass for it, like a real arcade. Is it worth the cost of 2 arcade 1-up cabinets? I think so. I don't think 1-up will do a multicade. Yeah, traditional multicades from them is something I want to see them do. I want to see them tackle it, but I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Not sure it's going to happen. Not sure what's going to happen. On the Pandora's box, by the time you get to the page of the game you're looking for, you forgot what you wanted to play. You forgot what you wanted to play, or you forgot that you're actually looking for the Japanese ROM. So the game title is different than what you wanted. So you're like, okay, I want to play this game, but it's not going to be called that. It's going to be called whatever. So by the time you get there, you're looking for Contra, and it's actually Proto Soldier or whatever it was. You forget, and you're like, I just play. Marvel vs. Capcom again, which is not always bad. LOL. I've been to strip club in northern Minnesota, where the strippers are cold, I would imagine, where the strippers had to put a quarter in the jukebox for that. They had to pay their own music. Soggy. I think it's time to maybe just don't go to strip clubs. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And get those girls some help. Get them some help. But the future is not looking bright if they're at the strip club where they got to put a quarter in the jukebox to dance to. I'm not a smart man, but I do know what success looks like, and that's not it. Does the Pizza Hut Arcade 1-Up come with a sticky carpet to give it that authentic experience? Of course. Of course it does. And then you get that nice little shiver up your spine like, man, I hope that's just Coke and not like bodily fluids or something. We've all been there. Now, PS3 to breakout board to monitor. I disconnect the Pi. Okay, so if you're going directly to the breakout board, I've not had that issue. But to be fair, I only ran my PS3 for minutes because my primary console of choice is PS2. So I usually just run that. I don't know if the issue is going to be with your PS3 maybe. I can't see why. Of course, I have to use the Pound Technologies converter because I also run HDMI off PS2, but I have to run it through that cable, which is powered. So even that doesn't make sense. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there. OCG. I gotta think about that one. That's interesting. That's interesting because I've fried a board myself, not the monitor. I fried a board. That was a whole nother deal. Hail indeed. Oh, and Angelus Draven. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Making something that will not exist unless you make it is super cool modding. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if the people at Arcade 1-Up or at Games or whoever, if they're paying attention, they'd be taking some damn notes, thinking, wow, if they're spending their own money to create this, why don't we give them what they want? It's a crazy concept, I know, kids, but it just might work. it just might work. Dell monitors work good. They, they do. They do. Here's the thing that I did, or here's the reason why I went with the 19-inch from Arcade Mod Up, is that because, guys, our community has been buying up those Dell monitors. Go on eBay. I'm telling you, you're spending $200 or $300 on those damn monitors to get the specific 20-inch that you want. You could probably sneak in a 19-inch, but at the end of the day, you're still getting an older monitor, older technology. It's going to be better quality. I'm going to tell you that. It's going to be better quality than the new one I just bought. I agree. It is going to be the better quality, but it's also going to be much older, 20 years old. So you are kind of running the risk of kind of getting a monitor that has a reduced lifespan. So, it's all in the nature of modding. It's I get it. This was just a better solution for me, I think. Now time will tell. This thing burns out real quick. I'm thinking, well, at the end of the day, I didn't save anything. I should have went with a 20-inch Dell. I have a feeling I mod. Oh, I see the correction, Mike. I have a feeling I mod my countercade into Donkey Kong is a day before Nintendo announces that. It's like washing your car, and then the next day it rains. It's how you do. So build the cab you want, and then it'll be announced at CES or E3 the following or that year. That's how it works. I know. I get it. Yeah, that's my luck as well, brother. I'm split. I like modding at times, but I also like leaving some stock. Depends on the cabinet, really. I think so. So I haven't touched my Marvel vs. Capcom. Not at all. I mean, I did. I think you saw the video where I tried to trim a little bit of the marquee, but beyond that, I haven't touched it. I did the plug and play sound system, but that's not even really. It's kind of a mod, but not really, because you're just plugging and play. You just plug it in, and there you go. So I guess that if you consider that a mod, that would be the only thing I've really done to it. But I think overall, I haven't really touched it. Ninja Turtles, I had the marquee. That's it. I haven't touched anything else. So I agree. There's definitely a line. That's why I love the idea of go find a cheap first generation cabinet and then just experiment. You didn't get it for free, but you didn't get it for $400 either. $150. Okay, cool. Grab that and then play around with it and see what the aftermarket has to offer, and then experiment and goof off. That's what I've been doing with these control panels. I'm really just goofing off. I'm just, okay, what would work? And for the price of a half sheet of MDF, it's not that bad. It's really not. And then if you've got the tools, that's another thing. You got to have the tools. That's where companies can really save you some money with these prefab, like control panels. But that's just something to consider. I think at the end of the day too, if I'm going to spend $500, $600, like if I was to get a pinball machine for $600. Man, I would be really tempted to swap in like a 20-inch monitor or 27-inch monitor. But then again, I'm like, damn, I paid all this money for this. I don't know if I want to touch it, because if I screw up, the risk reward thing is man, it's kind of skewed in the way that, hey, if I screw this up, I have really screwed something up. If I mess up $150 secondhand arcade one-up, it's not as bad. But yeah, it's definitely kind of a balance that you want to have, because I don't want to gut everything I have. I like that. I buy these because I like the way they look and I like the way they play. Yeah. Oh, so talking about the Rockies, are the original trilogy Star Wars Laserdisc behind you? Yeah, they are. They're real. The discs are in there. I love the original Star Wars. I liked the prequels a lot. I think that they honored, for the most part, the original trilogy, and I hate the Disney trilogy. But yes, that's the real deal up there. If so, props. Responding to him. I had the Street Fighter Legacy. Oh, you get the Capcom Legacy. I have the Capcom Legacy. I really wanted to leave it stock, but man, the height, deck recessed, and weird wings, I have no choice. Exactly. Yes, better get in line and place your bets. It's a lock. I'm going to mod my Midway when I get it. The severity of the mods we will consider once I get it, but I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to. It's just the way that it is. I can't, because I'm with you 100% 8-bit. Nah, I ain't gonna roll like that. I'm not gonna leave it like that. It's not gonna happen. You might want to test some USB encoders with the PS Classic. I do. I've actually got. Is very picky on the devices it works with. I've got several. I've got 3. So I'm going to experiment. I've also got a PS2 encoder. So it's got the breakout and the cable for you can plug into the controller port of a PS2 or a PS1. So I've got some options. If I don't have a lot of success with the PS1 Classic, because I think it's a good point, Mike, play with that and see if that works out. If that doesn't work out at all, or if it's being buggy or funky, because I know the PlayStation Classic isn't the greatest little console. It was easy to mod or add games to my NES Classic, which is weird because Nintendo is usually more locked down than Sony. But I know the Sony's kind of weird. It's kind of funky. So I think I may have to leave a USB plugged into it to run those games, which kind of will change the overall size. So at the end of the day, it may work out better just to rock the PS1. But we're going to play around with it either way, and I'm going to let you know one way or the other how that all works out. Indeed. Oh, snap, you got it. Yeah, attaboy. Golden T-Rocks. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking to somebody else. Mine died instantly. I did order the 19-inch upgrade that you did. Oh, okay, cool. So you sold me on that. Listen, I mean, the quality being what it is, and all things being equal, Occam's razor, man, that thing slaps in. So it really was. It was quick. It was simple. You can get your stock artwork already printed. It comes pre-assembled and everything ready to go. So, time will tell like anything else. But I mean, for the price, you really can't beat it. And if you want to get up and running quickly, that's the way to go. Oh, thank you, Lord George Washington. I appreciate it. Yeah, I want to make I already got the T molding in. I want to make a nice, clean little 2-player setup. See what that looks like. See what that feels like. And we're going to go through the pinouts and what you have to do to make sure you can play the turtles you want to play, because you're going to be stuck with 2 turtles. Unfortunately, it's not selectable in that way. But we're going to play around with it and see how that works out. We are going to play around and see how that works out for sure. Yeah, I won't touch my envy. Yeah, see, man, I'm telling you. Yeah, something, a little graphic here and there, fine. But I love that cabinet. I just don't like that console game they stuck on there, because I'm gonna beat this drum until the day I die. Alien versus Predator. I don't need to keep showing you the wall. Okay, everybody knows. I'm an AVP fan. If you wanted a side-scrolling, if you wanted a beat 'em up game to add to this cabinet, you could have had a freaking Marvel versus Capcom. Oh, I'm sorry, you could have had Alien versus Predator, and would have been amazing. It would have been awesome. I would have bought 2 of them. I may have never even bought another cabinet again. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. But no, if they would have added AVP to this, they could have called it the Capcom versus cabinet. All the branding, I mean, the stars would have aligned. That would have been amazing for me personally. But I really hope that they come out with an AVP cab. But I don't know that they will. It seems like they've sort of run through their Capcom licensing pretty severely. They've even sprinkled in Dark Stalkers here and there, which that was CPS2. That was a CPS2 title, and the Capcom Legacy cabinet was all CPS1 for the most part. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that. The only release that I saw was that Capcom Home Arcade, big 2-player arcade stick that they came out with. I'll say Capcom actually themselves came out with that one. It was the only time I saw a home release for that. And of course, I've got that ROM. Don't worry about it. I can play that on my PSP. I love that game. Cool, like the solution is much easier. Yeah, it really is. If you're talking about that monitor, like I said, people are knocking it, and I understand the complaints. I get that, but I don't know. TMNT is a must mod though. Good. Yeah, it's just wide. I think at some point you realize, listen, I got to make everything fit in my arcade, and this thing is just taking up all that room, and I don't need it. I don't have 4 people on here all the damn time. I just don't. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Working on the pinouts and doing all that's going to be interesting. So we're going to play around that. We're going to have some fun. And I will not mod my stock at all. I think I put on different bat tops or added the bat tops. But I'm not going to touch my stock control panel. It's going to sit off to the side. I'll put in the 2-player and then just be able to swap them out. But I will not cut that up at all. I'm going to leave that alone. I think I will leave the MVC X-Mega stock until the online play goes away. Anything with online play, I would leave as is. Yeah, it's kind of hard to debate that. I don't even know that I would. I think I really agree. I think there's nothing there I would really change. I think eventually the screen, I'd want to get a bigger monitor, but there's some things you just, it's like you finally get a Mercedes, or whatever your vehicle of choice is. Like, I finally got the same. Do I want to really put some 20s on it and slam it and all this stuff? I just bought a brand new truck. Do I really want to lift it? If you get an older truck, you can lift it. He's like, I know I'm going to wreck the steering, but I don't care. It's fun, and it's an older truck, and who cares? But when you get something nice like that cabinet where it looks good, it's got the games you always want, it's like, I just don't want to screw with it. Don't want to screw with it. Really don't. Good man, Fox, even though, even though hate is not the way of the Jedi, very true. The Jedi Council would make an exception for the sequels. Hate leads to the dark side, which I have to say that I condemn in the strongest terms. The Last Jedi in particular for what they did to Luke. But beyond that, you're right. Don't hate. Strongly dislike. I ain't buying a Blu-ray. I'll tell you that right now. If that puts it in perspective for you. Ain't buying a Blu-ray. That box set, no, I got the original box set with the original 6. I'm good. Is there a way to mount the 20-inch Dell without using? Not really, because what they're doing is you're putting something in that doesn't fit. By its very nature, it doesn't fit. You don't have to use the Tulsa Arcade kit per se, but you're going to have to make a monitor kit. You're going to have to buy a monitor mount, and you're going to have to build a way. You're going to have to build a structure inside. What Tulsa Arcade does is they take a lot of the guesswork out for you. So while I'm not going to necessarily endorse a specific brand or company, they do a pretty good job. And I know that I said in my video, listen, they're out of stock, but I also call them a good company. I think that they are a good company. But when you're faced with a price tag that's maybe a little too much for you, and the fact that they're out of stock, I think that the other option that I provided was just that, another option. But there's no way around it, Soggy Kid. You're gonna have to construct a way to mount that monitor, and it's usually the typical like a monitor mount or TV mount, wall mount for your TV. It's the same sort of setup. You screw that into the back and it mounts, but you got to create a wall to mount to. So it's still a little bit cumbersome. I was lucky enough to find that monitor. Hey, there you go. And before Arcade 1-Up came out, I had this monitor. There was a computer but a computer surplus store, like an office supply store, that had a bunch of these. Man, I walked in, the guy had just tons. I'm like, no, I just need the one. He's like, are you sure? No, I think I got it for like $20 or something, So the deals are out there for sure, but you're still dealing with a little bit older technology. So yes, watch the Evil Genius monitor upgrade video. Yes. Snow Dub, what's up, brother? Happy Bunny Day indeed. Happy Easter to you, my good friend. Love the Super NES MVP game. Yes. Alien. Oh, AVP. Yeah. The one I'm talking about is the arcade version. It had Dutch. Well, I'll show you. See, everybody. All right, blame him because I'm gonna break it out. So this is some of the characters from the game. I got the whole set. Alien versus Predator. It was made by Capcom. Arcade classic. It actually had Dutch. Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from the first movie had in it. He's got like a robot arm. You could play as 2 predators, and then you fought obviously aliens. And then one of the bosses was a predator that was infected with aliens, or infected by the alien, the facehugger. So that was awesome. Oh, you got to be kidding me, brother. Hey, congratulations, my friend. Long time coming. It's been a pleasure to watch you grow your channel. Much love. Snow Dub, thank you so much, brother. I really do appreciate it. And this one here is for you.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
I promise I'm going to have more of a variety next time. I just didn't quite prepare like I should. But Snowed Up, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. It's been a great journey, and we are just getting started. And you and I are going to have that live stream where we talk about this stuff, because I know Snowed Up's got an arcade one-up himself. He has one of the rare first, or it's actually a second generation Mortal Kombat cabinets. The one that everybody's like, you know what, these legacies are nice, but I sure wish I had one of those. He's got one. Okay, online and unique controls will be what will make me buy an arcade one-up. I think that's correct. You have that online community that they've built and they've supported. I think you have a unique control scheme is really what it is. I can have my PS5 controller or 4 controller, and I can play a game, and that's great. But to have that controller set up the way it was originally, this is where the Star Wars arcade one-up really excelled, to have that yoke and to get that yoke right. There was a lot of focus on that, because if that felt weird or wonky or cheap, if it didn't live up to that arcade experience, what the hell was the point of spending $500 on it? And I think they did a pretty good job on it. I got to be honest with you. I think I regret not getting that one, but I'm really, really, really holding out for that 90s arcade trilogy, Star Wars arcade trilogy that they came out with back in the 90s that Sega put out. God, man, I think that was running on that's Sega Naomi, so that's a little bit of a jump, I think. But with Big Buck Hunter and all that coming out, with that hardware upgrade to make that happen, man, if they have that, I'm telling you, brother, I'm gonna have that, because that would be awesome. But going back to the artwork on that original one, that third gen, that Star Wars cabinet that they came out with the yoke, that was beautiful. That artwork was absolutely gorgeous. So maybe if I can catch it on sale, maybe if they re-release it, I might pick one up just to have it, because God, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Oh yeah, thank you. Is somebody bailing out? All right, good night, guys. Need to finish my Big Buck Hunter review tonight. I got to watch that one. I got to watch that one, because that's another one I've been on the fence about. I've been wanting a light gun game forever. That one came out. It wasn't really my thing, but maybe your review can change my mind. So everybody, please, if you're a fan of this channel in any way, shape, or form, check out OCG. Got a great channel over there. Just cracked 2,000 subs, and well deserved. Well deserved indeed. Thumbs up this video. Yes, follow Brad's great advice. If you would be so kind, if you're hanging out before you got to dip out or whatever. I know we got to go to work. We all got jobs. We're all working people trying to afford this expensive ass habit we have. Please smash the like button. Thumbs up or down, either way. 31 people in the chat. Yes, please. Help a brother out. It really helps out the channel. I did get monetized, but a great way that you can actually help out the channel is you don't have to super chat. Those are great, but you can also like the video, watch the video, share the video. These things really help out the channel. It helps me grow, and I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. The same clip. Snowed Up is a classic. Damaj and I saying, "What's up, Snow?" Yes, Star Wars. My favorite arcade one-up. Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's a masterpiece. Oh, man, I may need to revisit that. I may need to really think about that. I'm pretty limited on space, but I may need to really think. I love the original Star Wars. I do. Shows the potential of what they could do, and I think that's what's exciting about it, Brad. Is that potential? What could they possibly do? And I'm excited about that. I think we've seen glimpses. I think I'm excited about Killer Instinct, because that is a graphical powerhouse, and if they're going to listen, there's some KI fans in the community that are sticklers, man. I mean, they are all over it, and it's got to be right. I can't wait to hear what they have to say, because if they sign off on this thing, like, listen, this is a good ROM, this runs great, it's legit. All of a sudden, things are getting really serious, and I think we as fans are going to be able to deal with the delays, some of the pre-order hiccups, and we can get top tier quality products for sure. Jamie Manley, great last name, Manley. Kentucky Bourbon, 4 Roses, single barrel is what we got. I'm sorry, small batch. I'm drinking small batch tonight. 4 Roses, small batch. Yes, indeed. Where did you get your joysticks on the TV? Okay, I can actually post those. I got those on Amazon. They're color-coded. They're kind of translucent. They came as a kit on Amazon. I can post this... I'll post this in the when the stream comes back up. I'll post it in the description. Maybe do a pinned comment, and you can go there. But it was pretty cool. It was, I think, less than $30, I think. And you get all 4 bat tops in the correct colors for the turtles. So that was good. Code Mystics are the best at making good one-ups, so anything is possible. Yes, I'm pretty excited. Emulation has come a long way from just hackers and those of us in the community trying to make it work. Really being able to reverse engineer these ROMs and getting them to play on current hardware and CPUs it's been a godsend, I think, and it really does. It blows things wide open. So pay for the licensing. You got people like us that are going to pay $400 for a single cab, and that's going to continue. That can fluctuate. You can get $400 and $500 out of us if you're going to put in the effort to make this run correctly. The artwork is great. Getting the cab's style and size and shape is great. Getting the controls there, great. But if it doesn't play well, if this thing is stuttering, I bought this machine to play this ROM, to play this game, and if this doesn't run correctly, I didn't buy some multi-purpose console. I bought this console to run this game. This cabinet, to run this game. And if it stutters in the least a little bit, if it isn't arcade perfect, what the hell did I spend my money on? And Code Mystics is doing KI, which is another reason why I'm excited. The Garage Gamer. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? What up, 19K? What up to you? Thanks for stopping by, man. Good to see you. They did the first Star Wars. Yeah, the Star Wars Atari games from the 80s. But I'm talking about the arcade, the actual Star Wars trilogy games that were made by Sega in the 90s. If they make that cabinet, Cool Toy actually took his, he actually modded his arcade, his Star Wars arcade to play those. He's got a video that's really good. Coin door decals for Street Fighter 2 first gen. That's what I got. I can post a link if you go to the website, not the website. If you go to that video where I modded, I did a whole series of front panel mods for the first generation Street Fighter 2, where it's just a decal. You can buy it on eBay. I think it's $20, depending on shipping or whatever. So it's a little bit expensive for a decal, but it looks really good, and the proportions are absolutely awesome. I mean, they look really good, and that's basically what you're going to get with a new Legacy cabinet. I think the whole kick plate or the eye panel is a decal, where this is a single decal. But the way that it was shaped, I was able to save. I don't have it on now. I have just a blank because I'm running the steering wheel setup. But it actually covers up 2 of the game logos, so you just have the main game logo. So it looks pretty good. But check out that video. Go back into my playlist. It should just be no more than a month or 2 old at most, and you should be able to find that. Hey Becky, what's going on, girl? Good to see you. How you liking this Ohio weather? A little bit better, right? I'm in the Cincinnati area, guys, and today was gorgeous. Yesterday was pretty good. Today was awesome. We hit 75, beautiful, sunny, not a cloud in the sky. I got out, I shot the guns, had a great time. Had the kids out there. We had just a great time. And of course, I had a crowd in here playing some arcade games. Do you like the Star Wars Battle Pod arcade? They are sick. New arcade. I haven't. Oh yeah. The Battle Pod. I don't have that much experience with them. I played it once or twice. So I can't give you an honest answer on that, Brad. I apologize, but I don't want to give you a half-ass answer. But the old stuff, especially the 90s stuff, was just amazing. Because what Atari did in the 80s was groundbreaking, but it was sort of limited. And I think over time I might get that gameplay might get a little stale. Whereas when it comes to the stuff from the 90s, I mean, you got the that great sound. You got the John Williams theme, playing to perfection, and it's tough to beat. Oh, Becky, 63, still a little chilly, but hopefully you got sunshine up in Cleveland. Went up there 2 years ago and watched my Cowboys beat your Browns. Sorry. But it was a good time. A beautiful city. I like it. I mean, you know, where the stadium is situated, it was awesome. So anyway, guys, men and women, ladies, gentlemen, had a great time. Thanks so much for stopping by. Got a lot of good projects. I can't wait to make some headway on once I get these sort of issues sorted out. We're going to get those things rocking and rolling. Those videos are going to be coming out shortly. I have a video coming out tomorrow talking about the unfortunate secondary market that Arcade 1-Up is creating by this shortage. And it's something that, you know, unfortunately, it's going to happen when you treat the products in this way. I think it's not just the customers that are losing out, but it's the products themselves, because they can't get these things out like they should. You're going to create these issues. So anyway, look for that video to drop first thing in the morning. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, I got Becky, what are you saying? We beat the Cowboys last year. Listen, we don't have to bring up last year. Okay, it was a rough year. It was a rough year for everybody. So it was tough. I think lots of us have good stories seeing our sports teams win. Oh, I'm sorry, Becky. I feel somewhat responsible. That's like the only team the Cowboys could beat. Damn, another monster. Why you gotta hit me in the heart right before I'm gonna leave? Why you gotta hit me with all that truth? Sad but true. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Arcade project's gonna keep on rolling. Stay tuned right here for all this madness. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy what's left of your Easter. Don't work too hard this week, and I will see you next time. Peace.